Okay, did it go live on the correct one this time? Okay, yes, it did. Hopefully my mic... Okay, so there's slight delay, unfortunately. I think. I told it to have as the least amount as possible. Thank you, TG Swedish. I like that my videos can be helpful to people, and I have another video on the way. Although I may change what video I upload on Wednesday if the PTB out is out today. Hi Toddy, how are you? I did not expect this many people to be here, but I'm really happy. Are you guys ready for the new killer? They might start off with the trailer. Yeah, I know TG Sweshi and Andre Marin were one of the first here. Andre said, me and the other person on this live are two legends, which is true. Ooh. Well, there's 5 minutes till this live stream starts. Maybe I should make it full screen for you. I'll probably type in the chat who the new killer is, if you guys want to know right away. Or if you'd rather just wait until it shows up on screen, I won't do that. Tell me what you think. If it's alien, if it's actually a xenomorph, I think a lot of people are gonna be flipping out. And I don't know what the killer is yet. I know some people are saying it might be a xenomorph, but who knows? But if it is a xenomorph, I'll be surprised and very happy because xenomorphs are one of my favorite creatures. All good, Kurujina. Not sure how you say that, but I'm glad I could help you out. That's why I make my videos. And I really enjoy helping other people. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's Pinhead as well. But it seems like they've done a good job this time on not letting the killer leak. Yeah. I highly doubt it would be a xenomorph because xenomorphs are more like monsters, and they said they didn't want to do monsters, but then they did the Demogorgon. So since they did the Demogorgon, does that mean they're going to go back on their no monsters policy? Happy birthday, Groundwalker TV. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope the killer that comes out is an exciting one for you, so you can play on the PTB and have fun, or just have fun in your Dead by Daylight games. I don't know what your birthday plans are. Minutes and 44 seconds. They could reuse Demogorgon animations. They wouldn't reuse the model because that would be like Netflix copyright. They could start from the model and remodel it from the Demogorgon model. You're gonna get wrecked by now. Who's the new killer that you're gonna be facing? hey, when the new killer comes out, there may be a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, so the games might actually be easier. Ooh. I don't know what this is. This looks like their workshop, like an intro to their studio. Show us the killer on one of their streams, please. Everyone has their own opinions on what the best killers are. That trailer for Ghostface was pretty cool. Someone scary for once. When you play DBD long enough, nothing is really scary. Spider-Man and Venom. He'll shoot his tongue at you. SpongeBob's the new killer. Yes, the most deadly killer of all. Darth Vader. Here we go, the trailer. Four-year anniversary trailer. What's coming to us in year 5? No, they're just teasing you with a 4-year anniversary trailer. You thought you were gonna see the new killer trailer? You know they gotta drag it out as long as possible. That's what the devs like to do.
Hi! Welcome everyone to our 4th anniversary. We had, obviously, hope to make a big event this year in Montreal. We were going to invite all of you to come over. We're going to have balloons and animals and balloon animals. But we obviously had to change plans because of the current situation.
Virus.
The good news
It's
is
a big virus
everybody
ruining
at
everything.
Behavior is now working from home. Huge kudos to our IT team for making that possible very smoothly. And now we're all safe and sound at home. So today we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to have people talk to you from the safety of their home. We're going to present you a lot of really cool content, stuff that's coming in the roadmap for this year. We're going
Kudos
to talk
to
about
them, though, for being
the
able to pull this
mobile game,
off
because
from
obviously we
home,
just shipped
'cause
on
this
mobile
would not
a
be easy
few
to
weeks ago.
orchestrate.
And we are very excited to introduce you to a few people from that team and to make sure that they can tell you what they have in store for you. We're also going to go over the community, which is you, by the way. Thank you very much for being part of that awesome group. We're going to talk about what it means to us, what comprise
They
the
know.
community and how our
The devs have
community
always
team
liked
is built
teasing the
and how it
community
works to make
being
all
like,
of your
"Oh, you
dreams
wanna
come
hear
true,
about
or
this?"
most of them. Some of them are just weird. All right, we're also going to talk about a few really cool things. For
Just a
instance,
few
I want to
really
take
cool
a moment
things.
to talk about something we did 4 years ago.
It's
We
nuclear
talked in the
as a
past about
virus.
trying to be as generous as we can on Dead by Daylight. And one of the things we did 4 years ago was release a little thing called the charity case. So the charity case is a very big package of, I think, 28 items featuring a lot of influencers and content creators from around the world. And all the profits, 100% of the profits on this goes to a thing called the Brain and Behavior Research Fund, which is a cause that's very dear and near to us. And I'm very happy to say that in the last few months, we've now raised over $1 million. Well, you've raised more than $1 million for that very worthy cause. So thank you very much for that. It's still up if you want to grab it, if you haven't already, and know that if you do that, you actually you're going to help a lot of people.
I'm sure there's a play out there that has changed their name to that.
Other than that, we're also going to talk today about the upcoming content for Dead by Daylight.
Upcoming
we'll see
content.
if we have time to get into that.
He's not saying upcoming killer and
show.
Upcoming survivor because he knows.
In the meantime, I also want to say there's a few things that we're going to go over maybe a little quicker than we would have liked. That's because we also want to take the time to do deep dives on some of these subjects, and we'll do panels, and we'll do blog posts,
so are they
and we'll do
save
videos
it for the very end?
and Q&As and all these different methods that we have to communicate with you. We want to make sure that we give you all the information about all these subjects that are dear to you. This year was filled to the brim with new stuff. We put a lot of work in delivering content. We had talked about a few things on the anniversary last year, and since then we've delivered so much stuff. First, Ghostface came to the game, which was almost a surprise, but really kind of a big deal. Then we had the Stranger Things chapter. I don't know if you remember that. First time we had 2 survivors in the game. An amazing foray into a TV show, the Netflix show that was the biggest thing at the moment. It's still today one of the biggest things out there. Then we released The Cursed Legacy, which was the first time we went back to tell even more of the backstory of some of our characters. And then we just released The Chains of Hate, which was a completely new take on the horror setups that we tend to do with the game. And the first gun in the game. We also, this year, released the archives. It's easy to forget that it wasn't in the game, but now it's such a huge and important part of the rhythm of the game and the content there. We've released 3 new tomes for the game, and each one of them came with some improvements to the feature and new types of content. We've also did a major update on Freddy, a much needed update on Freddy that I think you liked. We did the same for the Doctor and made it kind of a big deal. We have released our dedicated servers as we had promised, and now they are on every single platform. Obviously, there's a lot more work to do on the dedicated servers, but it's such a better platform for us to work on.
It's
a much more solid thing. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a few moments.
Or they just want to do their archives
we
and get
also
out. So if they're
installed
killer,
a disconnect penalty, which I'm happy to say has reduced the disconnect rate by 35% across all the platforms. That's an immense improvement on the quality of life. We also launched on Switch this year. We then launched on mobile this year. We are now on pretty much every platform out there, and we'll continue for the few that are left that we haven't touched yet. We then released what I believe might be the most impressive piece of content I want to say ever created in the history of video games, but I might be overstating it just a little bit. Bunny Fong came out, finally. Then I'm very, very proud to say that in the last month, we just broke all of our records by having over 1 million daily users. That means 1 million people played the game in one form or another during a single day. That's crazy. Then we also broke another number this year. More than 20 million people now have played Dead by Daylight, and you're part of that, so thank you. And
some of this other stuff he said is
now we're
like
going to go and talk about the roadmap and really what's in store for next year.
I totally wasn't playing.
Take it away, me.
Well, the roadmap will be good. I always like seeing their roadmaps. They do a good job on presenting them.
Let's get started with 2 men who need
so I guess
no
these
introduction,
are pre-recorded
but
then.
Still, we'll give them one. Jérôme and Stéphane.
Or pre-recorded.
Hi everyone, I am Jérôme, the Senior Product Manager on Dead by Daylight. I am in charge of the roadmap, so basically defining the features to be implemented in the game.
Hi everyone, happy to be here today. I'm Stéphane Beauchamp. I'm producer on Dead by Daylight. and my job is to execute along with the team the roadmap Jérôme is putting together.
All right, game health is always a subject that keeps coming back. Last year we had a big discussion about it. I think that regularly we talk about game health. It's
So I guess
something
the
that's
people that
going to be at the top
said
of our concern
it would
for
be
a long time.
released at the beginning.
Let's dig a little
were,
bit more into what it means specifically, at least for the next
Not
year
totally
for
true.
us. Let's
Or
start with
the
the
devs
dedicated
didn't actually
servers, which was a
say
big
that.
improvement this year. Stefan, you want to talk about it?
Absolutely. The transition to dedicated servers has been a really challenging experience, but also very exciting
Obviously.
one. We're happy to be behind that transition and migration, but there's a lot of ways in which we would like to continue improving gameplay experience on dedicated servers. This is going to happen through 3 specific features that will integrate over the next year or so. The first one is we're planning on increasing the rate at which your server runs, which is going to have a positive impact on the latency between the
So
player
you don't
doing
get
an
the
action
assets
or
through when
doing
you're
an input
already
on the
across
client,
the palette. It's
and
not
that
like
actually
it's
having an
through when there's
effect
a
on the
palette
server.
physically in
That
between
being
the
said,
pillar
even by
or
reducing this as much as we
vault
can,
window and you
the
get hit
network
from
limitations
20
always
feet away.
force a minimum amount of latency. Because of that, there's always moments where what you see on your client isn't exactly the same as what's actually happening
Getting
on the
hit 20 feet
server.
away.
So we're adding movement extrapolation to various characters to make sure what you see is as close as we can from what's actually happening on the server. But as I mentioned, there's always going to be these things that happen, and in order to prevent that from having a negative impact on the gameplay, we're looking into adding a validation on server and client side of things to make sure any gameplay critical action, whether it is using an interaction, doing an interrupt, doing an attack, landing a hit properly,
Oh, the best
etc.
part is when
These
the
are all
killer,
going to
you
get
do the grab
validated on both
animation,
sides to make
but
sure
you
no one's
lag out
actually
and
getting
like
cheated
stay in
out
the
or
grab animation
into a
and
hit
spider
that
runs
shouldn't
away.
have landed. Probably one of the most frustrating experience for anyone to have. And these are the main 3 changes we're planning to put up, which are going to improve the gameplay experience.
Awesome. The next thing I want to talk about, which is, it's a subject that we've talked about since day one on Dead by Daylight, matchmaking. It's always going to be a intense
matchmaking
subject
has
of
been worse
conversation.
than
There are
normal
more
lately.
improvements coming this year. Jérôme, do you want
Where
to talk about the specifics a little
Low
bit?
ranks are getting
Yeah,
paired
sure.
with high ranks.
So currently, the system is using the ranks to matchmake players, but the ranking system is more a time-based progression system. It resets every month. So instead,
they're gonna
we are
end the
going
stream
to
and they're
use
gonna be
an
and then they're
algorithm,
gonna restart the
and
stream
this
and be like, oh wait, we forgot
algorithm
to tell
is
you
looking
this.
only at what happened during the trial and what was the outcome of the trial. So this will help us to define player skill level, and this will help us to create a better and fairer matchmaking
If
system.
they,
So
I
this
wonder if they're gonna
algorithm was
do,
already implemented in the
cross-platform
background
play. That
of the
would,
live servers, and
fix
this
a lot
since
of
several months.
issues with
So it was
matchmaking.
not used for matchmaking, but just for
Because just
simulation.
larger player
And now we
pool
have
to
some
choose from.
results, and they look good. So now we just need to polish the last details, and we'll be ready for a release this upcoming month, so this summer.
Cool. One of the things also that we like working on, all of these things are really cool, but live design is something, it's such a crazy game with an ever-changing meta. Live design is always something that's gonna create a lot of talk in the community. When we redid Freddy, for instance, or the Doctor, all these
They're
things.
talking about stuff that's
We
not
have a
in the
few
chapter
more
right
of these
now.
live design changes planned. Obviously, it's an ongoing effort, but maybe you can talk about a few of them, Stefan?
Over the past 4 years, we've put out so much content into this game, and we keep
No
on
way.
adding more and more as every chapter releases. We just really want to make sure that everything that exists in the game right now is up to par with the new content we're continuously releasing.
I don't know if you know
And
this,
how we plan on
but
doing that
when
is
Dead by
exactly
Daylight
like we did
first
before,
was
revisiting older characters,
released,
revisiting
there
existing
were-
perks and add-ons to make
there
sure
were only
they're still
4 survivors,
balanced, they're still
and
interesting to
3
play with, they're
killers,
still
okay?
competitive, they're fun. So really,
But mind
exactly
one,
like
right?
we've shown in the past with a few specific major reworks or just updates we're putting out every update. Obviously, the maps shouldn't necessarily be left to the side for that. We've seen recently with our one of our most recent updates how the fan base reacted super positively to a major update we put out, revisiting a bunch of older maps to make sure the navigation, the palette placement, the vaulting placement, etc. Were as balanced as they can be, were as fun to play with. So we're continuously looking into
Depends what
improving
rank you
our
are in
existing
Survivor.
maps
If you're
while we're
ranked
still
20
putting
or
out
you're
a bunch of
ranked
new
1,
ones too.
your matchmaking
finally,
queue times
the
are a
third
lot
thing we're
longer.
going to look into over
Because
the
there's
next year
less rank 20
is
killers and
something
there's
that's
less
quite
rank
similar to what we did
20
last year when we introduced the endgame
Most of
collapse,
the killer
but is going to apply to
survivor
the
player
beginning of the
base
game
is in the
instead.
middles.
This has been
where
a
green
topic
and
that's
purple
continuously discussed in the community, and we also feel a lot strongly about. The beginning of the game is a moment where there are a lot of potential
Which
things
is
to do
another
for
reason
killers
why
and
not to be red
survivors.
rank. Yeah.
It
And no one
can be a
wants to play
stressful
red rank
moment for
because
some
it's
of
too
these,
try-hard.
for some of the roles. So really looking at cleaning up and making that start game experience as
Or
fun
you
as
just have to
possible
try
for
so
everyone
hard and you have
involved
to
in the
play
game.
so perfectly at red rank.
So stay
to
posted
get
for more
wins.
details about that one in
So,
particular.
like, you can do it, but
Thank
it's
you
just
very much.
frustrating
One of the
experience
things
that you
also
don't really
to
wanna
note
repeat.
is the game is, after so many years, we're now on pretty much every platform out there, almost. We just released our mobile on iOS and Android, obviously. We're now on Switch, PS4,
Yeah,
Xbox One,
crossplay would
few
help the
PC
matchmaking
platforms.
problem
That
a lot.
brings up a lot of questions about what are we going to do to make sure that players can play together, whatever platform they're playing on. I think that's a big question.
They also
it brings
have never
question
done
of,
anything about
of
the
cross-play,
split
cross-friends,
when
cross-progression.
they're like, oh,
Can we talk a little bit
we'll
about that?
give killers some
Cross Friends
advantages.
is one of our most asked for and requested
Well, here's
feature, and we're
crossplay.
really happy to say it's finally coming to the game this year.
Crossplay is
How this is going to
coming.
work is we're
You know what
adding
that
a search
means?
feature and add
PC,
friends features into the existing
players
friends
will
list that's
link
already
console
available on
players.
multiple
That's
SKUs, on all
hits.
SKUs. So you're going to be able to search for friends from other games and just add them directly to your friends
Because,
list.
like,
And
PC
from there, you'll be
killers
able to form
will be
survivor
able to
friends
play at
or
a higher
custom
level
game
than
parties
console
and
players
play
just
with a bunch of
because
people from the different
you
platform
know how the
directly
controls
into a
are. It's
public
way
or a
easier to
private
aim with a
game.
mouse and a controller.
On top
so
of that, we're also adding crossplay. It comes with it necessarily, but crossplay is also going to be part of the base matchmaking experience. And we're hoping that by grouping a bunch of players from different platforms together on the same player pool, we're going to be able to matchmake you
But
with a
the thing
much
about
bigger
crossplay,
player
though,
pool,
is that
and
now
thus
you can play with your
matchmake you
favorite
better
streamers
against
no matter
people
what
that are closer within
device
ranks,
you were on, right?
etc. The other
Now they
added
probably
benefit
won't put
that
mobile
we're,
in here just
hoping
because mobile
Crossplay is
Dead by
gonna bring
Daylight is a
is that we're
completely
going to
different game.
diversify the meta
than normal
between
Dead by
different
Daylight.
platforms. As we know, people tend to have different habits on the specific platforms, whether it's playing a certain role or playing with a certain character. And by mixing these pools together, we're going to expose and break the barriers between players and habits of different platforms, which is really, really exciting to do.
That sounds fun. The question obviously that comes in right after that is for Jerome, I guess, is when is that coming in? What's the timeline? How is that going to be put
So
in the roadmap?
PC players and
We
console players
want to
won't
make
have
sure
that
that
much
we
of a
can
difference on the
provide
survivor
the best
side
player
just because
experience
survivor
possible for the
controls are
community.
basic.
That is why we're going to release the
But-
cross-friends and cross-play features in two waves. So first we are going
Killers
to
like the
introduce
Deathslinger,
the cross-friend
the
features on the
Hillbilly,
PC platforms.
Huntress
So
will be
Steam
superior
and
on
Windows
PC
Store
as
because
well as
those
Nurse.
platforms have already the crossplay enabled.
So maybe
And
we'll
then
see a
in the
rise
second
in
wave, we
those
will be
killers
adding in this
because
pool the
they'll have
console
an
platforms.
easy time
So
against
PlayStation
console
4,
players.
Xbox One, and Nintendo
They
Switch.
do have it
And at this
optional
time,
right now.
all the platforms will be
If
able
you go
to
in your
play
setting,
together.
well, it's only on
So
PC
in terms
because
of
they do
timeline,
crossplay
we
with the
expect
Windows Store.
to have all those
but it
platforms
is
being
in your
available
settings. You go
in
settings.
the
There's
crossplay and the cross-friend
crossplay
features
option.
environment
I
before
can
the end of
show
this year.
you.
Awesome. And what about cross progression?
Yeah, you're right. We know that this
Yeah, but the
crossplay
thing is, then,
topics comes
then
along
you
with the
hurt the
cross-progression
PC
topics.
players.
That's topics that we have already in our
And
head. We are currently in discussion with the
Warzone a
partners, so
FPS
we
game?
can't give much details because it depends a
Shooter
lot on
games
the
are much
scope.
different.
But that's a feature that we would like to have.
Thank you very much. Next, I want to talk
You
about
can
something
disable the
that's I find super exciting. I mean, it's all really cool to talk about what's coming this year, and we're always happy to be transparent and tell people. But this one is kind of dear to me. The game has been going on for about 4 years now, and some of the big updates that we've done, especially on the visuals of some of the maps and things like that, really get people excited. And obviously, we've also learned a lot in how to create assets in the last 4 years of working on this. So what's coming in the next year, among other things, is a huge graphic update. And I'd like us to talk a little bit about what we're going to do with that so that Dead by Daylight can continue to not just
You
be
can,
relevant and be a game that people keep playing, which we keep saying we want to do.
Let me
But
show
we
you.
want to make sure that
where you
Dead by
can
Daylight is a
disable
game
it.
that can stand proudly
Because
next
it's on
to all
PC
these
right now,
next
they do
gen games that are
crossplay
coming
between
in the next few years.
Steam players and Windows
Yeah,
players
so
because you can buy
last year
Dead by
we
Daylight on the
updated
Windows
the
Store and
Lorries
the Steam
Memorial
Store.
map, and it was pretty great. The feedback from the community was really good, and even you, Mathieu, was asking me how we managed to make this
Since
so
they're only
frightening.
talking about
So
graphic
this year
updates
we're
right
going to
now.
go beyond this. We are going to update all the
Right.
maps that are in the game, but that's not going to be only that. It's going to be a massive graphical update. We're going to review all the special effects, the animation, and we're going to add more lighting in the game so we can play more with the
Whoa,
tension
more
and the
lightning.
creepiness in the trials. We really
mean
want
lighting.
to deep dive into the core aspect of Dead by Daylight.
See,
which
this is what the hype.
horror.
I
So
know
now
this
it's
is
4
annoying,
years of
but this is like what
assets
it
that we
looks
need
like
to
in
review.
their
So it's going to be a small task.
in their
That is why we're
program where
going to do
they
it
edit
in
it, but
different
when you put it
phases
in game,
throughout
it looks
the
different
year.
because of your graphics
The
settings
goal,
and stuff.
as you mentioned earlier, Mathieu, is to stay true to the nature of Dead by Daylight while also continuing to be the
I'm pretty
reference
sure
in horror
Claudia will
gaming for
always
the
be
years
able
to
to
come.
blend in. She has the brown
Awesome.
shirt and a
I
black
cannot
shirt.
wait.
And
Just to specify this, we actually did put a full team on just that task, making sure that we can, ramp up every
But it's
single
also
asset that we've
small.
had, which there's a lot of stuff in Dead by Daylight since its inception. Now, talking about graphic update is really cool, but everybody wants to see something. Is there anything we can show them at this point? I mean, it's early on, but there must be a little something.
they're gonna show us something
Yeah,
now.
we are
so
very excited with what we have done so far. So we have some assets who are still work in progress, but of course we want to share with you what it's looking like.
okay, here we go. Wow, they're a bunch of trolls. Oh, the players want to see something super, right? Let's show them it. Ooh, the killer shack is gonna be made of bricks instead of wood? Does that mean there's no hole? Oh, they're using a different thing for the foliage. Dang, that might actually bring down a lot of people's computers. If they have the foliage moving with wind or something, that can be harmful. Well, that place doesn't look as red anymore. Yeah. Because I've noticed when I play games that have the foliage stuff, they're like, you have to turn down the foliage or
All right,
whatever.
let's talk about our community. For us, it means two
All
major
right.
things. First of all, the
Let me show
community
you
is you out there. It's you and everybody else either playing the game or talking about the game or creating content relating to the game or being inspired by the game to write music or to make outfits. It's everybody that's part of what makes Dead by Daylight this amazingly rich and passionate environment. It means groups of people who interact on every single possible social platform.
Here,
In
crossplay.
person, it
Play
means
with
people who
players
play
from other
together.
networks,
It's even
blah,
the
blah,
people who
blah.
play
If this
by
is
themselves
disabled, you
and
will
never
only
talk
matchmake
to
with
anybody.
user on your own platform.
So it's important for us to,
So
to
you
be
can
able to
disable
break
the
it down and
crossplay.
figure out exactly
Don't worry.
who is part of the community and how do we listen to them? How do we get close enough that we can actually hear what makes
They
them
don't
happy,
always do
what
the new
makes them
chapter at the end.
excited,
There have been
what
a few
worries
times where
them,
they have done
all
it
of
at the
this.
beginning.
We need to know about that. So the other
So there
part
you go.
of community for us is the community team. It's our team that we built. Obviously, this was a very small thing. 4 years ago, it was pretty much just
Now, on
Dave
PC,
and,
the only
and
reason the
Ash and I
crossplay option is
talking
there
to you
again
live
is
and trying to
because
sift through every
you can
single
buy Dead by
forum,
Daylight on
which
the
we
Windows
couldn't do.
Store or the
To
Steam Store.
today, where we
so
have
the
a team of,
crossplay
I
is
think, over
just
than 50 people
matching Windows Store players
internally,
and
some people sitting
Steam
at their
Store
desks in the
players
office,
together.
some people
And
sitting
that
at their
was their
desks
way
all
of
around the
testing
world
crossplay
in different
at the
countries to
start.
represent the different
So that's why PC
pools of
players have
people
that
around the world.
crossplay option.
And then we
and
have,
other,
people who are
players do not.
halftime and people who are doing this out of the goodness of their heart. We have people that are part of the mods team, the community management team. It's a big machine because for you, community might mean you and your friends and the people you play with and the forums you visit, whether it's Reddit or
I don't think anyone cares
Nico
about
Nico
this
or
community
whatever,
stuff.
but it's maybe 100, maybe 1,000
How many
people
people are
that you
watching this?
feel are part of that Dead by Daylight community. You should
67,000.
probably
Look
know
how
that
fast this chat's
there's
going.
probably hundreds and thousands of these pools of people around the world, and each and every one of these has their culture and their desires and their worries, and all of this is something that we need to have an understanding of, and that's what our community team internally is tasked with
Yeah,
doing.
the only thing
It
people are
is
going to
a
be talking about after
daunting
this
and
stream
quite
are the graphic
intimidating task,
updates,
but
nothing
they've
else.
been doing an amazing job at it, and we're going to talk about exactly who these people are and how they do their job. Gabrielle Murphy is going to take us through that. We're also going to have Gab Malvar talk to us about the Fog Whisperers program, which is a super
Whisperers
interesting
program?
bunch of people that are helping, you know, bring the good word of Dead by Daylight to the masses as possible. And then we're going to take a little moment to talk about all the community
I wanna be in
events
the
and
Fog Whisperers
activities that we have in
program.
store for the
And I could give out
celebrations
cool,
and for
like,
this year.
codes for stuff.
So here we go.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the 4th anniversary community
Those
panel.
gaps are
I am
really
Not
important
Queen,
in
lead
Killer
community
Shack.
manager on Dead by Daylight. I'm very pleased to have you with us today in my living room. What a crazy year for Dead by Daylight. The game grew exponentially, and with it, our community blossomed. Well, blossom is a fancy term to say it got a shit ton bigger. Back in September, the addition of the Switch to our
Language.
console family and the release of a chapter like
kidding.
Stranger Thing brought a lot of attention to the game and a lot of new faces to our community. Last month
A lot of people
only,
that get
we
bullied
hit
too,
at a
'cause they play
record
the
number
game.
of
'Cause
players
at the
connecting
be-
to the game.
when the game
with
first
over
came out,
1
everyone was
million
new.
people
But now, if
playing
you
DBD
her
over
rank
the
20,
span of
you
a
have a
day.
chance of getting paired against
But
people who
for
quit
some,
for 2
the
years and
game
then came back.
itself isn't
And
enough
they
to
actually know
contain
how to
all
play the
their
game,
love
so
for Dead by
you
Daylight.
actually have a hard
You
time
guys
with
want to
rank 20.
discuss, argue, create art, breathe, and live DBD. This community lives on different platforms, social media, forums, Discord.
Pretty sure it's
But
a
all of
cardboard
it shows
cat.
the same pattern this year. Growth and
It's
engagement.
not blinking or breathing.
Just on our forum, over 80,000 discussions were created this year, and over 800,000 comments were posted on these discussions. Our official Discord channel grew to welcome over
They have
100,000
an
people
Instagram?
that play together and exchange on live chat
I did
about
not
the
know
game
that.
every day. But it doesn't stop there. Dead by Daylight also has an international community with dedicated community managers on local platforms that most of you probably never heard of. VK, Bilibili, WeChat, Nico Nico. We even have a special
It's
Twitter
stuffed.
channel for our Japan community only. Nothing could be possible without our ever-growing community team of volunteers and staff.
She
And
should
here's
show
a
us
cheesy
if it's a
montage
cardboard cat
to
or a
present
stuffed
all these
cat.
people to you.
Ooh, a cat plays this game? Demowler? I didn't know cats played DVD. Those people that have the bandanas were ahead of the pandemic. Ryu T.
Okay, that montage was beautiful. Cheesy AF. You guys have proven over and over again how much you love the game. Here is some of the community's finest work.
I want to be a Fog Whisperer one day. Hurry, give me 10,000 subs so I can be Fog Whisperer. Maybe that will get me noticed. That build.
Before we go see what the Fog Whisperers have prepared for us, it is now the time to reveal our winners for the community in-game
Oh, let's see
outfit
what our
contest.
new community
After last year's
contest
success,
will be.
we were sure we wanted to do a redo for the 4th anniversary. And this year, you guys blew us out of the water. It was a super hard choice to make. We started by
There's a lot of
going
talented
over the
people.
1,000 entries, one by one, and ended up selecting 30 per role. So 30 for killers and 30 for survivors.
30?
Then our art
Oh.
and creative
No, no, no.
director ended up
Okay.
choosing our winners. Here
Why do you
are
keep
our
saying
final
new?
nominees.
3. Just cause.
And drum roll.
Ooh.
Here are our 2 winners.
Legion and Claudette. Well,
So
I like that Claudette,
congratulations! Out of
but the
over
Legion is cool,
1,000
but no one,
entries, yours
I'm not gonna
was
play
chosen.
Legion.
Fog Whisperers, take it away.
I know he's a YouTuber, but why do you keep saying it? Oh, this is
Hi,
Samination.
I'm Gabrielle Malvar, and I'm the influencer manager for Dead by Daylight and Dead by
It
Daylight
looks like
Mobile.
Samination
Don't
helped
you
with
mean
this.
DBBTSR Mobile?
No, Trapper. I'm here to talk to you about the Fog Whisperers.
Oh, look at the time. Gotta go.
The Fog Whisperers are partners of Dead by Daylight. And
I
they
know
create
he's a
awesome
DBD
content,
YouTuber. I've
such
seen his
as live
content.
streams, YouTube videos, and animations. At every chapter, we provide them with blood points in the PTB and Oryx cells to buy cosmetics. They also receive DLCs for giveaways and content to reveal to the community.
Quiet.
The Fog Whisperers are represented by this logo, shown on streams and videos. They can also be worn in game too, as charms on their hooks or butts. Now you might be wondering,
You said
how does one
butts.
become a Fog Whisperer?
Yes, I was wondering that, but can you tell me everything all over again? What is Fog Whipper?
Next
Frickin'
scene,
Trapper.
please. The Dead by Daylight team is
Whoa,
always
a blue
looking
generator.
for killer content. So be sure to tag us and include hashtag Into the Fog. And who knows, maybe you'll be next to whisper in the fog.
Okay, I can explain that. I can explain. I thought I was in a completely different. I can explain that. I can explain that. 3, 2, 1. Wow!
Whoa.
See, it was all part of the plan.
I'm gonna try to get in the selfie. Hold on.
Hurry!
Getting on selfie. They're probably showcasing the biggest Fog Whisperers.
Freaking toxic. God damn it!
Well, if you could bait them long enough, they don't pay attention. He could get the end game.
It's moving too slow.
That guy has a
Holy
good
shit,
Freddy
this is a fine
crossplay.
Oh god, what's gonna happen when they meet? I don't know.
Just don't knock them down. They both
I
use
think
the
you can
controls.
only do that on controllers.
I'm dying. Is there someone in there, Vince? Is he in there? Yeah, I'm getting him, brother. Don't worry, I'll get him. You liar! You fucking lied to me! You are an evil boy. Yeah! Yeah, Vince wins! Yeah! Well, okay then.
Easy to
They're
hit.
blowing up this one.
Oh look, she has Thompson's Mix and Rusted Chain. So she's putting Mangled onto players when she has
Maple, you need
Insta
to go
Song.
get the other. Maple.
That's someone that doesn't know about the
My
pigs.
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. That's, oh my god!
Holy shit.
Please leave. Please leave. Please.
I mean, I appreciate what they do for the community, showcasing streamers and stuff like this. I think it's really cool.
Yes!
And that is how it feels to be
But
a
I know a
Fog
lot of people
Whisperer,
want to know
always shouting
what's happening.
yes at the top of your voice. Seriously though, congratulations to everyone in Behavior for this fantastic 4-year journey. I'm so grateful to be allowed to represent a game I love to people I adore. Congrats on 4 years, guys. You knocked it out of the park.
Hey guys, it's Otofu here. I just want to give a quick thank you to both my community and the Dead by Daylight team. Throughout the past 4 years, I've gotten so many awesome opportunities. I've gotten to travel to Montreal and meet the team. I've gotten to play in Twitch Rivals. I even got my own cosmetic in a game that I freaking love. But most importantly, I got to grow one of the most amazing, supportive, and kind communities that I could ever ask for, ever. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this if it wasn't for all the people that I've met throughout the years in this community and on this game, and I just want to say that I appreciate it so much. Happy 4 years, guys, and here's hoping to many, many more.
I want to thank my Dead by Daylight community so much for being here with me since day one.
No comment.
I would not be where I'm at without you. Gracias.
Howdy gamers, it's Toki.
What up guys, it's Crunchy Egg Rolls.
We want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Behavior and the entire DBD community.
And shout out to the Echo Empire, Small PB Gang.
Don't question.
Shout out to the Burrow.
No idea.
Beautiful Blunts of the Fog.
Apparently a
We are your
streamer
newest
that is
recruits
big
to the
enough to be a
Fog
Fog
Whisperers.
Whisperer.
Mama, we made it!
Showing that
Anyway, I'll be seeing y'all
anyone, as
around.
long as
Till
you
next
put in the
time,
work,
it's peace, love, and booty!
Be a good, successful streamer.
We're heading back to the campfire. Stay safe out there in the fog.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my community,
cauliflower.
my Dragon Army.
Cauliflower.
Thank you guys so much for supporting me over the past year with my Dead by Daylight content. I really appreciate it. We've had some goofy times, some crazy ones, and we've been exhausted on the ground more times than we like to count, but it's been great. I've had an
Exhausted on the
amazing
ground.
time this past year. And also thank you so much to the team at Behavior for creating this game and continuing to support it for as long as you guys have. There's been so many new additions, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Yo, what is happening, guys? It's Scorpions here.
This guy's a
I just
cool
want to say
streamer.
again a thank you to my community and to Behavior for allowing me to be
He's
a
a pig
Fog
main,
Whisperer.
but
Back
he's
when I
pretty
joined the Fog Whisperer program, I wasn't
has a lot
even
of
a Twitch
good things to
partner.
say.
So the Fog Whisperer program allowed me to better grow my channel, to get my name out there. And at the same time, it allowed me to give codes out to my
See, he's
community
really
to
good
give
at,
them something back as well.
controlling
Anyways,
the ambush.
guys, I'll be off. But remember, always
See, that's
boot
some
the
hillbilly stuff
snoot.
right there. Bouncing off
Bonjour à
objects, that's
tous,
how you
je
know
suis
he's good.
Excelite, un Fog Whisperer français. Je tiens à remercier mon incroyable communauté pour son soutien lors de cette
For
année
their
de
support during this
partenariat sur
past
Dead by
year.
Daylight et je souhaite
And I wish a
à
happy
l'équipe
4th
de
anniversary to
développement
the
ainsi qu'au jeu un
development team
joyeux
and to the
4e
game.
anniversaire. Amusez-vous bien.
Have fun.
Hello,
Oh, look,
everybody. It's
Polly.
Polyester here. I just want to say what an honor it is to be one of your community Fog Whisperers. The highlight of my
made a lot of
year
funny
has to
videos
be our
about,
streamer charity event that you all
the-
supported,
what's the
helping us raise
DLC?
over $30,000.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you
guy's
all
a
for
really
a
good
great
pig,
year in
Kevin.
Dead by Daylight.
I've
I'm
watched
looking
his stream
forward to the
before.
next one and to many more to come. Hats on, Tinfoil Gang.
Hey everyone, this is Zinc. I'm the creator of the Discord bot Elemental, which Dead by Daylight uses on its Discord server. I'm a software developer. I've been playing Dead by Daylight since 2016, and I really love coffee. I'd really like to say
He
thank you
created
to
a bot.
Entertainment 720 and the whole Dead by Daylight community Discord for being Elemental's first supporters. Also, thank you to the Dead by Daylight development team for creating a game I've spent countless hours enjoying. I look forward to seeing Dead by Daylight continue to grow, and I'll be right here alongside you guys. Happy 4-year anniversary, Dead by Daylight. I'll see you guys in the fog.
Hello nerds, my name is Nafi. I'm from Southern California. I've been playing Dead by Daylight for almost 3 years. Dead by Daylight is one of many games that I can't get bored of, with all the new content that Behavior works hard on to keep us
Look at
invested.
her shirt. They
My
have
name
Freddy,
is Amy.
Michael
I'm also
Myers,
from Southern
Jason,
California,
and
and I have been playing
Is
Dead by
that
Daylight
a,
for 2 years. I actually found the game through watching my husband
clue?
play, but
Is
I
it gonna
did
be
not care
Pinhead?
for it at first because every time I watched him play, he'd be dying on hook. But eventually I played it, and now I am hooked. And I want to thank Max or Bubbers for introducing me into the DVD community, where I made a lot more friends than I could ever imagine.
My appreciation goes to Edgar Allan Poe for keeping the game fun and entertaining and making me want to play a lot more.
And of course,
Thank
thank
you,
you, Behavior.
どうも、日本の K2 です。
Hi, I'm Kenny from
DFC
Japan. I've
と
been
いう
holding
デ
community
ッドバイデイライトの
tournament
大会を
DFC
開
since
催し
3
て
years ago.
約3年になります。
I
デ
started
ッド
it
バイ
because
デ
I
イライ
love
トが大
DBD
好
and
き
I wanted
で、
to join
自
it
分が参
myself.
加したくて始めた大会でした。多くの人に興味を
It
持
took
って
some
もら
time
う
to
まで
attract many
しばらく
people.
時間がかかりましたが、デッドバイデイ
However,
ラ
I
イトを通
appreciate
じ
Dead by
て
Daylight as it
続ける
taught
こ
me
との
that it
重
is
要性
vital
を
to
学ぶこ
continue
とが
my
でき、
effort.
すごく感謝しています。そして、デッ
I've
ドバイ
got
デイ
two
ライトのお
dreams
かげで
because of Dead by
私には
Daylight.
2つの夢ができました。
First, I want
有
to
名
hold a
実況者
dream
さんたち
match
である
tournament,
夢のような
like a
お
party which
祭り
many
的な
popular
大会を開
streamers
催したい。
participate.
あともう一つ、世界
Second,
中
I
の
want
う
to
ま
hold
い
a
プレイヤー
tournament
が
which
集まる
best
大
players
会を開催
participate
したい。
from all over the
そんな
world.
大会
It
ができ
sounds
たらワ
exciting,
クワクし
isn't
ま
it?
せんか？
No
DVD
other
ほ
game
ど
makes
熱
me
くなれる
feel
ゲ
as
ームを
excited,
私
and I
は
hope
知
we
り
can
ません。
keep livening
こ
up
れ
Dead
から
by
も
Daylight
DVD
together.
を一緒に盛り上げていきましょう。
Thank you, Gabzilla and our Fog Whisperer, for that really dynamic segment about our content creator program. For our 4th anniversary, the community team has organized contests, raffles, play sessions with devs, and more during the month of June. So the schedule will be available on the social media. Stay tuned for this. And finally, I want to thank everyone that contributed to our community this year. Stay safe. Please continue to discuss, argue, and love the game. This is why we do it. See you next year. Hopefully not in my living room.
The Rambles. Thank you very much. I'm not predicting his pin, and I just
Let's talk
pointed
about
out on
mobile.
her shirt. I don't
This
know.
year, super exciting. We finally launched Dead by Daylight on mobile. It's a huge thing for us. We've been hard at work on it for a long time, and it's finally in people's hands. So let's take a moment. Valentin and Julia are going to talk a little bit about what it took to get to that and what they have in store for the future.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Dead by Daylight mobile panel. I'm Valentin, associate producer on Dead by Daylight Mobile, and I'm joined by Julia. Hey Julia.
Hi Val, I'm Julia. I'm the community manager on Dead by Daylight Mobile. So we've had an amazing journey on mobile so far this year. An incredible number of people have been backing this project since we first announced it. We have had over a million people participating in our beta phase who stuck with us while we worked on adding content, features, and polishing the game throughout the testing phase. As of April 16th, we are officially launched in most regions around the world, with more to come later in the year. And we've already hit a landmark of nearly 3 million players.
So launch was a very exciting adventure. As most people around the world, were currently working from home, and we were working from home for the launch. It wasn't what we expected. To be launching it all from our own homes, but it was
I don't like all the things
a
they
great
did on
adventure,
DVD
and it worked
mobile.
out really well.
Like on DVD
the launch
mobile,
was a huge
the
success
only way to
with
level
lots of
characters is
players
to
coming in,
actually
as
play
Julia
that
said.
character.
And
So
for us, it was a culmination
so
of
getting
2
teachable
years of
perks
hard
is a real
work.
pain in the butt.
We started the DVD
Because
mobile
you have to
team,
play
2 years
killers
ago
that
to
you're not
bring,
necessarily
the same,
wanting to play. Like I can
PC
play
consoles
Clown and stuff,
experience
but
to mobile phones,
the
and,
gameplay
having it
of like
released,
Clown
to the
is
world
just so
in April
boring
was,
to me,
a
and I don't
great
enjoy
success
it.
for us.
And also, I can't play DVD
So
mobile because
Dead
my
by Daylight
phone
Mobile
lags.
is that same great
So,
experience,
it's
very,
not
that's very
optimized.
stressful and very scary, as what you can see on PC
But I can
console,
tell
but
you
on,
that Survivors and
mobile.
DVD mobile
To
are
bring
just
that,
as
we
toxic
had to
as
do,
PC and
some
console because they do
adaptations,
teabag at the exit gate and stuff.
specific to mobile, so the controls were of course adapted so that we could play
The
on
Nun.
touchscreens. We also made changes,
I mean, if you're choosing an
mostly on the UI UX
Insidious
side.
killer, wouldn't you want the
As we
original
all know,
one, which
Dead
was
by
that
Daylight is a game that's
weird
played very much
witch-looking
with sound.
lady
However,
from the first
most mobile
Insidious?
players won't have their headphones with them, or can be in very noisy areas. So we adapted it so that everything that you will usually hear, you will see graphically represented on the phone, so you can play without headphones or sound on. We also introduced the Blood Market, which is our
Their
adaptation
version of the Blood Web.
So it's more.
So the only problem is if you're on the wrong
mobile,
killer when you
user
choose it,
experience-friendly
it'll give you
version
add-ons for the
that
killer you
still
were
gives players
on.
the
But if you
same,
put it for a
great
different killer,
rewards.
you have to
We
either
also
buy all the
added
things or
a lot of mobile
so it's
centric
kind of
features,
like
including
it should be
menu
different, but they
tutorial,
can't make
which
it
is,
different for every killer
shorter,
because then
and
killers
of
would have
course,
more options.
shows the mobile
So
specific
it's kind of
changes
like
and allows players
you better
to get
be on the
into
right
game
killer when you
faster.
open your Blood Market.
We also
but-
added exclusive skins, daily reward calendars, and a lot of other features, but also the disconnection bots, which have been tremendously popular. These are bots that take over when a player disconnects from the game, so that the people who are still there can actually finish playing. The bots are quite good.
Bot killers?
And they allow people
Does that mean we're gonna get bots on PC? They better not, but bot survivors on
Another
PC.
Key difference from PC and console to mobile is that mobile is free. It is completely free to download, and
free
you
to
do
play,
not
but
need
the only
to
killers
pay to
available
win.
are Trapper
Most
and
characters
Hillbilly,
and
only survivors
customizations can be
available
unlocked
are
through playtime alone, and any other ones can be unlocked through keeping up with daily challenges and other in-game rewards. It's also a really good time to start Dead by Daylight Mobile right now. Like I said, it costs nothing to download on Google Play and the App
The thing
Store.
is that a bot killer would be
thanks
fine.
to the will be starting
But
off
a
with
bot
another free character
would
and a
be
bunch of
terrible.
in-game
It's just
resources
3 points
as
for the
well.
killer. They
So
would
we've
be able
had,
to
like
get
I said,
more
we've
points
had a
off
lot
of that
of people
bot than
install
if
and play
someone
the game
DC.
so far. So we've got some cool stats to bring to you. Since launch, we've had millions of trials played. Within those trials, there have been 12 million generators fixed, 44 million killer hits, and 4.5 million survivors who have outwitted the killer and managed to escape.
Or they
So these stats
escape
are just
because their
from
game
the
is super
first
laggy
few
on the
weeks
phone and the
of being
killers
live
can't swing.
globally. There's a lot
their
more to
buttons
come,
suck.
and we'd like to share with you some
Their
of the
buttons
things
are
that
so
are
close
headed your
together that
way
you
in
can
the coming
accidentally
months.
touch your killer
Yeah,
power
so
when you're trying
we
to
have
swing.
our roadmap established from June to September of this year. We're going to be doing releases
I wrote a
on
whole article
monthly
about how
basis,
bad
so,
Dead by Daylight Mobile is.
so that you always have something new and fun to try out and fresh. So the releases are going to be alternating between 1 month focused more on new content, and then the other focused more on quality of life and new features. So you can see that
if there
in
were
June,
bot killers, it would
a
actually
map,
help a lot of rank 20s.
coming
If
in
they made
for
it so
people to play
only
around
rank
with.
20s could get
And
bots,
then,
or
in
rank
July,
20
we're
brown ranks could
focusing
get
on
bots,
more like quality of life and
because
improvements. Then
or if
August, we'll
rank
introduce a
20
new
killers
killer
got
and a new
bots,
map.
because
And then, in
honestly
September,
it is
we'll have
kind
a
of
brand new
hard for
feature
new
for you
people to get in
explore
this
and play
game because
around
there's
with.
so
All
many
those
experienced
releases
people in low
also,
ranks now
include new
that a
customizations
brand
so
new
you can,
person
spruce
will
up
get
your
bullied
character.
if they play killer.
There's a lot of really cool
And
stuff
then
lined
that's
up.
a real turn-off for new
Something else we're
players.
committed to doing with every update is spending time working on improving performance, stability, and polishing the game overall. Launch is just the beginning, so alongside new content and features, we'll be continuing to improve the game in whichever ways we can.
I mean, the killer's gonna be
So
something
before
that
we go,
someone
we
wants
want to
'cause
say
it
a
is
huge
licensed.
thank you to the community who showed us so much love over the past year of beta, all the way through to our big launch in April. You have supported us in so many ways, from just enjoying the game to helping us beta test, telling your friends and family about us, creating your own unique content with the game. We really could not do this without you, and we look forward to many exciting anniversaries to come with you in the fog.
Thanks so much for playing the game. We're really happy to have been able to release it to you to play, and we're excited to bring more Dead by Daylight mobile goodness to you. See you in the fog.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll cap off with a little montage of some of the great in-game moments you've sent to us.
That Claudette was gonna step in that trap, okay? The only reason she did not step in that trap was because someone else stepped in it. Now, one thing I do like on DBD Mobile is that when you're in the lobby, you can actually see the other survivors' perks. On the survivor side, killer obviously can't, but the other survivors can see the other survivors' perks and add-ons and stuff, so you actually know what perks your team has, and you're like, oh, that person has borrowed time, so I'll let them save, or something. Oh, persuadable.
Fuck, my damn it. I fucking just bit my tongue, dude. I bit my tongue.
Persuadable is a Identity 5 player that started
Yeah.
in Dead by started
Okay,
playing
I've
DBD
just
Mobile,
been
and he's
told
pretty
we
fun.
actually can take a little moment to talk to you about what's coming next. So, let's take a step back. About
Enhanced
4 years
Blood Web?
ago, first licensed chapter we've ever had was
Ooh,
Halloween.
license?
Probably
Yeah, Michael
one
Myers?
of the top legends of the horror movie world. it
Here's
really
something about
legitimized
Dead by
us
Daylight. So
as
when
a
Dead by Daylight
great
was new,
reference for
if you
horror
did
in
not
video
own
games.
the DLC
Today,
killer,
we
then
have
it was
another
impossible for
landmark
you to get their
moment
map.
where
So,
we're gonna
like, if you didn't
present
have
to
a
you
Halloween chapter,
a
then you
huge
wouldn't
deal.
get
For us, it's
Haddonfield
amazing.
map.
We've been
You could get it
fans
as
of this,
Survivor, but
license
if you
for a
played as
long time.
Killer, you would
We're
never
very
get that
excited
map.
to show
So
you
for the longest
and
time,
to
I didn't
let you
have
hear
the
what
Halloween
it sounds
chapter.
like when we
'Cause I
bring
didn't-
these
I
legendary
preferred playing
icons
Billy
into Dead
or
by Daylight.
Nurse.
So roll the clip.
So people would use Haddonfield offerings all the time on me, and yeah, they got farmed. Okay, I don't recognize this. School. New killer is girl. I mean survivor. Is it Siren Head? I'm just kidding. It's the black head! The black pyramid head! Silent Hill. Alright. Oh, and the four was the clue.
I am
You
super
look,
excited
it's a
today to
triangle.
finally be able to reveal to you the next chapter of Dead by Daylight. As you've seen, we are going into a video game horror classic. We're going to the realm of Silent Hill. Silent Hill was one of the first horror game I played, and
I've seen people play Silent
absolutely
Hill, but I've never
fascinated
played it
by it.
myself.
Oh, I'm really happy to be able to work with such a fantastic license. Let's start with the map.
Who did the king think
There's
it
a lot
was?
of really cool locations.
I didn't
in
watch his
Silent Hill.
videos.
We decided to use one of the most iconic ones. So we bring you to Midwich Elementary School. The two-story building is filled with thematized rooms, so all the Silent Hill fans will be able to revisit that famous location. There's a music room, the chemist
See,
lab,
I really didn't
there's
think
the
it was going to be
nurse
Pinhead,
office,
because
there's all of these little
people are
secrets
always
around.
like it's Pinhead.
There's
When
obviously
Deathslinger
this
came out, they're like, it's Pinhead,
exterior
you
courtyard
know?
in the
Like,
middle of the map.
I did
That's a
highly doubted
very
that.
new layout in Dead by Daylight. Even the clock tower is there.
See, I don't
We've
know
also
that much about
filled the
Silent
map
Hill to
with
really
all sorts of
guess what the
surprises and
perks are.
secrets for all of you fans out there. A lot of winks to the
And-
Silent Hill franchise. Survivor
I don't
of the
really
chapter
know about
is
the
Cheryl
Silent Hill
Mason.
characters enough
You
to
might
guess
know
what
her
the
as
killer
Heather
power is
Mason.
even.
That's how she was called as the protagonist of the Silent Hill game.
Probably after the stream.
Cheryl's a very interesting
Let me not
character.
cover
She's
it.
a powerful
Cheryl?
protagonist. She's also conflicted,
I thought
and
the main
she
character
went
was
through
a
the
guy.
ordeal of facing the Silent Hill nightmare.
Was she the person that you
We
saved
learned
at
through
the
the
end of
Silent
the
Hill 3
game?
narrative that she is the reincarnation of two souls. So we really wanted to show into her perks this duality, and also
So what,
her
does she have,
link
like,
to the
two,
dark forces of Silent Hill. So let's talk about the perks.
Perk time!
Soul Guard gives you endurance
Guard.
after being healed or after recovering from the dying state. But also, if you are currently cursed, you can recover from
Okay.
dying by yourself.
Cursed?
Cheryl's second
new
perk,
status
Blood
effects?
Pact, links you to the obsession. So if you or the obsession are injured,
Finally
you will
a
see each other aura.
survivor-based obsession.
As soon as one or the other is healed, you'll gain the Aced effect for a limited time.
Aced?
And last but not
More
least, the
status
third perk,
effects.
for the first time,
Two new status
gives
effects.
the power to the survivor to control a little bit the entity. Repressed Alliance allows you to call upon the entity to block generators.
BM
With this
perk.
chapter and character, we also
Oh, you
introduce
wanna do
a
this,
new type
Jen?
of cosmetic
Too bad.
called Legendary Skins. Legendary outfits are really cool. They are not just an outfit.
Oh,
they
Haste?
actually completely change the character
Oh, I guess it's
you're
just his
controlling.
accent.
So, for example,
Yeah.
the first legendary skin
I have
that's
a
going
hard
to appear in
time
this chapter
understanding people
is
with
Lisa
accents.
Garland.
I mean,
So
his
you'll be
accent's
able
very
to take
mild,
Cheryl Mason
so I can
and
understand him most
transform
of the time,
into
but
Lisa. The killer of the
anyone has
chapter
a
is
thick
none other
accent,
than
I
Pyramid
have a really
and he
hard
comes to
time
Dead by Daylight with the
understanding
name
what they're
the
saying.
Executioner. And I just want to add something here. The Pyramid Head that's coming to DVD is the classic Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2, straight from the tormented mind of James Sunderland. Pyramid Head's power roots itself in the dark forces of Silent Hill. So first of all, obviously you have this big, giant knife that you're wielding. And with it, you have a special attack. The special attack is a range attack
Whoa.
that goes even through collision.
That reminds me
Where
of
it gets
something
really
I've seen in
interesting
MOBA
is that
games.
Pyramidhead can plant his knife in the ground and draw trenches around
That's
the
really
map.
good on
These
Killer
trenches, when the
for-
survivor goes through them, will make them tormented. So tormented is a killer effect
for
that
hitting through
at
windows and
first
pallets.
seems
Which means
like it's
windows
not
and
doing
pallets are
anything.
going to be more dangerous
But
against this killer.
if you're suffering from the tormented
But it depends how
killer
it works,
effect,
like if he has
and you're
a
in the
long
dying
charge
state,
time or he
that's
can
where
only
it
do
gets really interesting. So Pyramid Head can, instead
He's
of grabbing
spectre.
you and bringing you to a hook, he can decide to call upon the forces of Silent Hill, which will grab the survivor and send him directly to a cage of atonement. The
This
cage
killer might be
is
actually good.
similar to a hook in mechanics. The survivor gets stuck in there, he can get saved by others, and he will go through 3 phases as
Wow,
well
that's really
until
cool,
he
though,
is
the-
sacrificed,
how that
just like on the
animation.
hook. The thing though is that Pyramid Head saves a lot of time. All the grab, the transporting,
Yeah, it takes
and
so
the
much
hooking,
time to like
that's
hooking
done
is the
automatically.
most downtime of.
When the survivors are ripe for a sacrifice, if they are caught in the tormented killer effect and in the dying state, Pyramid Head will be able to call upon a final judgment on them. That's a way of saying that they can kill them instantly. It's like a mini Mori.
What?
Now let's
Built-in
talk a little bit
Mori?
about the perks of Pyramid Head. They bring new tools for deception.
I mean, that
The
just
first
saves you
perk,
so much
Forced
time if
Penance,
you can just kill
will
someone
give the
instead of hook
oblivious
them.
status effect to a survivor that protects another survivor from a hit.
Oh, the broken.
Pyramid Head's second perk, Trail of Torment,
I mean, that's good because for
will
Ultra 6
make him
survivors, but
undetectable when he breaks a gen. We'll also highlight this gen in a yellow aura for the survivors. And the last perk, Deadbound, will link a healer to a healed survivor. If they run too far from each other, they'll suffer from the oblivious status effect.
who cares about Oblivious?
So that's it. That's the Silent Hill chapter. Again,
It would be
we're
way
super
better if it was,
happy
like,
and
Mangled or
proud to
something.
have had the chance
Who
to work
cares
with
about
such a fantastic
Oblivious?
franchise. Personally, I'm a huge fan. I'm super stoked to see all the stories that's going to happen with these characters. I'm glad that
Those killer
Pyramid
perks
Head
are
and
kinda sucky.
Cheryl have a new life into our universe. What's also super exciting is that the PTB with the Silent Hill chapter will be available right now, so you'll be able to download it and try it for yourself. And it's going to be released also very soon. As a last message, I would like to say to everyone, to all of you fantastic community, happy 4th
If the
anniversary.
PTB
Thank you
is-
for all
yeah,
your
very
support, all the
underwhelming killer
ideas, all
perks,
the
but the killer
meaningful
power,
discussion that
it
we
has
have
potential
online with
to
all of you.
be top
You've been
tier
fantastic,
killer
and
power,
I'm
which
gonna raise my glass to several more
It's
years.
something that
Cheers.
we have not had in a while.
Wow, thank you, Dave. How awesome is that? Okay,
So if anyone
okay,
wants to
listen to me.
join
I'm
me
gonna
in,
say
uh,
that
kill
if you
your
want to play
friends.
Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight, if you're on PC right now, the PTB is happening now. You can go press the button and play Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight.
I don't see it.
Now, for everybody else or the people who don't like the PTB, you can wait until the full release, which is going to be about 3 weeks from now. We'll give more details as things come along. But if you are eager to get your hands on the Silent Hill chapter of Dead by Daylight, PTB right now. Now, I have to take a second, step back and give a huge thank you, a big shout out to everybody who makes this happen. So that's everybody on the team, whether it's the programmers, the artists, the
3 weeks.
designers, the community management
be on the
team,
PTB
the
for, like, a
marketing people who make sure that you know about this, the PR, the people who are doing the video editing, the capture, the people who are doing all our data analysis. Every single person that's involved in this project from close or from far, thank you so very much for the amazing work that you do every single day. It's really appreciated. I think that we can all agree that this is a special team full of crazy passionate people, so thank you. And then a huge thank you on top of that to you out there, every player out there, everyone that is part of what makes
Well,
Dead by
this is
Daylight such a
exciting.
vibrant and exciting community
killer
to play
power
in
is
all the time.
pretty
Thank you for
nice.
supporting us. Thank you for
Reopen
being
soon, maybe,
constructive
maybe.
and positive and being supportive of what we do. And thank you for following us in this sort of crazy ride that we are on. We are
Polyester.
so humbled and excited to
Yeah, he's
celebrate
funny
our
though.
4th year anniversary with
I
you
liked
today.
his video he made on
and
the
we
Xenomorphs.
are eager to celebrate a few more in the coming years.
No. Oh, what's this? Copyright. Restart my router with the stream up. There we go. PTB. If anyone wants to join me in the PTB, switch your games over right now, because I'm going to need to record this stuff. And someone else has just followed. Thank you, Maran XTHC. Let's look at this chat. Freaking out. Restart your Steam, guys, because when I restarted my Steam, it popped up. So reopen your Steams. If you want to watch me try out this new killer, new perks, see the new perks, stay tuned. Because we opening this bad boy up. Should open up my Discord maybe, so people can message me in my Discord if they want to join. Did my Steam crash? $3 a.m. Ooh, that's late. Chapter 16. Hopefully the crash did not ruin this. Alright, time to start typing this stuff out. Don't know. Dead by Daylight news. We'll just say, whoops, nuclear is pyramid. And I'll post everything else as we know. I know they went over the perks and stuff really fast. New killer. Come on, smooth update this time. Last 2 times I tried to connect to the PTB, it took me freaking the entire day because it got to 100% and then got stuck in like that endless loop of finalizing or whatever, and they had to go back to the normal build and then go back to the PTB and restart Steam, restart my computer, and all this crap. Man, these chapters are just flying by. It feels like Deathslinger just came out. The King Array has a update. I wonder if that means the Fog Whisperers got all this information beforehand. How does he already have a video out on the matchmaking? Here, I'm gonna change. Let me see if I can change the stream name now. It's also because I'm streaming. Streaming will probably slow this down a lot. Buffer. Google Meet. It stopped mysteriously. Please don't bug out on me again. This is what I'm talking about. It does this. You're not the only one. It doesn't really bother me, plus I'm too lazy to right click these, and it used to be really bad. I used to have like over 200 notifications on some of these before. Well, actually I already have over 200 there. See, it says downloaded, but then it does this stuff. The updates are never, it's only 1.4 gigabytes, but then it does this. There's a reason I separated the live stream from my other web browser, but I wanted it to remember all my tabs, so that's why I closed it second. Five minutes to 12 minutes. like, once it's all downloaded, it shouldn't just let you play? Oh my gosh. This is the kind of stuff that makes videos delayed. Because I really want to get a video out on this, but then it's like stuck in this thing, and this is the same thing that happened the last 2 times. It happens every single time, no matter how much I validate my files or reinstall the game. It's not fair. No one else has this problem either. Their game just goes through and they're good to go. Okay, well, I can restart the stream when this, because I don't want to make you guys wait here forever. So I can restart the stream once this thing is done being stupid. But I don't know, if I end this stream, do I have to start a new one? Probably. Nah. Tea and me nuts. 14 minutes, 15 minutes. Just do your homework. That online schooling. Isn't school like almost over? And do homework like a responsible student. Good job. Alright, so one of my friends is gonna send me screenshots because his game has already loaded into the public test build. So we can at least take a look at the values. Yeah, hopefully the graphics update does not cause lag, but if it does have wind effects in that foliage, like moving in the wind and the bouncy foliage, then it'll probably have lag. Okay, first image, right of judgment. Oh, don't look at all my tabs. Okay. So. Open the gates of suffering and be judged! The great knife splits the ground, giving rise to an infernal construct and spreading the agony to all who approach. Rites of judgment. Hold the power button to activate, then move in any direction to carve a trail into the ground. Survivors who walk or run on this trail will trigger killer instinct and be afflicted with torment. Survivors affected by torment may be sent into a cage of atonement while they are in the dying state. Now, special attack, punishment of the damned. Press the attack button while Rites of Judgment is active to perform punishment of the damned. This unleashes a wave of force, damaging any survivors in its path, so it can hit multiple survivors. Special ability. Special ability, Cage of Atonement. Press the active ability button while standing over a dying survivor suffering from torment to send them to a Cage of Atonement. Survivors in a Cage of Atonement can be sacrificed as if they were on a hook. During the second phase of the summoning ritual, they will be forced to complete skill checks to hold off the entity. What the flip? Skill checks? That means if you have laggy skill checks or something, you might be killed. No longer spamming spacebar. Okay, being rescued or rescuing another survivor from a Cage of Atonement will remove torment. Special ability, Final Judgment. Press the active ability button when standing over a dying survivor suffering from torment who has already reached struggle phase on the hook or in a cage to execute them. So it looks like you need torment applied to survivors to be able to do these things correctly, so you want to make sure to afflict torment on people so that way you can just instantly hook them, instantly kill them and stuff like that. So you probably only will get torment on survivors that are in chase with you. Survivors who walk or run on the trail will trigger killer instinct and be afflicted with torment. But how long does the trail stay? You know, how long does it stay on the ground and then before it despawns? How far is the range? It looks like the punishment of the damned does not apply torment. So, you can hit a survivor in that way, but it won't apply torment. Does your movement slow? Thank you very much for joining the Discord. Okay, Deathbound. When a survivor heals another survivor for one health state at least 32 meters away from the killer, the survivor performing the healing action will scream, revealing their location and activating Deathbound for the next 45 seconds. During that time, the survivor will suffer from the Oblivious status effect when further than 8 meters away from a healed survivor. Okay, so you have to be 32 meters away. The survivor performing the healing action will scream. So they didn't mention this, they just said that when they go away, so this actually might be good then. Because they will scream whenever they heal someone, right? So then, but it will, what, does it only trigger the first time? So you can use it to find people. Trial of Torment. After kicking a generator, you become undetectable for 15 seconds. During this time, the generator's yellow aura is revealed to survivors. This effect can only trigger once every 80 seconds. Kinda, yeah. Survivors who take a protection hit are inflicted with the broken status effect for 30 seconds. 30? That means you have to capitalize on it. So this is basically just an anti-tunnel perk, because I know there's a ton of killers out there who, for some reason, they tunnel in on one survivor, and someone will body block, they'll hit that survivor, but then they'll keep tunneling the same survivor they were chasing. Even if they're full health sometimes. I've seen it happen. They keep tunneling full health survivors. So, I mean, this just incentivizes you that if you hit a survivor that body blocks, you should switch targets. Unless, you know, you can get close enough to hit the person if they are injured, if they are full health. Not worth. So, this killer, if you get really good with this killer, you can capitalize on the insta-hooking and the insta-killing. But if you cannot get your torment onto others that well, then he can be difficult, from what I can tell just by reading this. Now, if his rights of judgment last a long time, so say you're at a pallet loop, and he loops the pallet while dragging his sword on the ground, then that will get torment on the survivor as long as you're pallet looping the same area. But the thing is, like, when he's doing the dragging on the ground, does that make him significantly slower? Because if it makes him slower, then it's not worth doing it at a pallet loop, because you'll never catch up to the survivor, or the survivor can just go to a different area because they see you dragging your sword. Okay, new survivor perks. Repressed Alliance activates after repairing generators for a total of 60 seconds. When repairing a generator while the perk is active, press the active ability button to call upon the entity to block the generator for 30 seconds. The perk deactivates. Afflicted generators will be revealed by a white aura to all survivors. I don't see how this really benefits you. I guess if you don't want the killer to kick the generator, you can do that. But if they have Hex Ruin, this will be negated. Soil Guard. Gain the Endurance stats effect for 8 seconds after being healed or having recovered from the dying state. Soul Guard. While cursed by a hex, you can fully recover from the dying state. So this one would be useful against hex perks, so like Hex Ruin and other stuff like that. But the thing is, the killer would have to slug you. Now this can be good if the killer is slugging people and you have this on you and you get one tapped. This will actually be really good, because if they hit you, then you can get the speed boost and run away. So this does have potential because it can counter slugging killers, which will usually happen in a 2v1 situation. Blood Pact. When you or the Obsession are injured, you both see each other's auras. After healing the Obsession or being healed by the Obsession, you both gain the haste stats effect for 8 seconds. Reduces the odds of being the Obsession. If you are the Obsession, this perk deactivates. So, if this person has Nemesis, or something that changes the Obsession around, you become the Obsession, that means you cannot have Blood Pact. So that's interesting that they have this thing where you can't run it with some perks. And I like how they're making more perks that decrease your chances of being the Obsession. But this perk doesn't sound that great. Haste stats effect for 8 seconds. Really? That's not a lot of time. And you could just run Empathy or Bond, which are much better. Forced Penance. Those who stand in the way of duty will suffer harsh judgments as far as take a protection hit. Oh wait, this is another guy. That's the first tier of his. It's 25 seconds. Tier 2. I don't know how to read. What do you mean? This stupid thing. So I have plenty of disk space, but for some reason, Steam likes to take up all my disk space. I have like 60 gigabytes. This thing is only 2 gigabytes. It should not be taking up 60 gigabytes. No, don't do that. Can we just cancel this? This happens every time too. Oh my gosh, which one is it? Whoops. I think if you delete the downloading. I think you delete the download folder. I don't know. Is it the temp folder? There we see. I have this many gigabytes. This is only freaking 1 gigabyte, and for some reason, switching to PDB takes up all my disk space. I don't know what's up with that. This is why it always takes me so long to get those PTB videos out. Like, the download's only 1.4 gigabytes. Why is it taking up 60 gigabytes? And then I get the same issue when I try to go back to the normal game. I mean, I could uninstall, but like, I've validated my game a bunch, so I know there's nothing wrong with my game. But every time I try to switch to the PTB, the same thing happens. And I like having DVD on my solid state drive, but I don't want. I may have to switch it to my hard drive. If it always does this every time. If it's gonna get stuck again, I just know it. Have any of you have had this issue with Steam where you're downloading something or doing this and for some reason it takes up more space than it is supposed to? Okay. Okay, let's see. Now it says install for some reason. Well, that's weird. Because now it says install. Let's put it on my hard drive this time. I know, that's the problem. It's only 1.4 gigabytes, but then it takes up 60. First, it only happens in transfer. So when Steam is trying to switch from the live game to the PTB, it goes through the thing, but then when it's in that setup after it downloaded everything, it takes up 60 gigabytes of space, and it's like, oh, there's no more disk space, so we can't do this. But then whenever I finally get it to freaking load the PTB, all that stuff automatically goes away and the 60 gigabytes are gone. So it's like this ghost data or something that's taking up all this space, and when it's trying to transfer the PTB, and as soon as it manages to transfer, all that space disappears again. And it's super annoying because there's nothing I can do about it. It takes up 60 gigabytes of space trying to transfer to the PTB. And then it says there's no more disk space. And this has happened, this is the third time, it's happened every single time I've tried to transfer the PTB. And I don't know why. I validated my files, reinstalled the game, like... I bet every other streamer is playing it right now. It's just frustrating when this happens every time because I want to get those videos out as fast as possible. And this just makes it like delayed so much because every second counts. And when I don't get the video up super fast, it gets less views. Why is it updating Golf It? Here, maybe we can play some killer gameplay while we wait. These are future games. What do we... I already uploaded this one.